結局桜庭選手は今までは何度も自分の階級とは全然違う、体重の選手とやってきたので、やっぱりそういう動きがあるからこそこういうような試合ができたんじゃないかなと。
もうそういうのもあります。よく赤い選手とかにはもっと大きいやつとやってそいつをやっつければ美味しいだろうっていう美味しいっていう言い方なんですけど、それが格闘技の面白さだという。
そうですね。So what of course he's had that experience, and so he's always telling younger fighters, fight guys bigger than you, because when you win, it makes a much bigger impact. It's a lot more exciting. It makes the sport that much more interesting.
I'm sorry, if I'm not wrong, you have never fought MMA in the U.S. And you fought Metamoris here in California. Why and what's the difference between fighting submission here and not MMA?
MMA はアメリカではやったことはない。
あります。ダイナマイト USA.
Dynamite USA, he fought MMA in Los Angeles in 2007. But against Hoist. That's right. で、このアメリカで MMA にやるのとグラップリングにやるとどこら辺の意味が違いは何かありますか？
いや、特にはないんですけど、やっぱりなんていうの、ルールを少しいじくことによってやっぱり寝技ってどうしてもつまんないっていうイメージがあるんですけど、もうちょっと面白い寝技を皆さんに見せられることができるかなと思ってクインテットのルールとかも考えたので、知らない人が見ても多分面白いと思います。あとチーム戦のドラマみたいな感じとかもあるかもしれないです。
So, with MMA, the format is quite well known. People know what to expect, how to enjoy a fight. When it comes to pure grappling, they don't always know how to enjoy it. A lot of grappling events end up being very boring to somebody who doesn't know the ins and outs of the sport. And so what we try to do is we worked on the rules in such a way so that the Quintet could kind of bridge the gap and be an exciting sport to watch for people who don't know everything about grappling. It's because it's a team fight. It's easy. The drama is there. It's built in. You see the rest of the team cheering for their man. You see when the man comes back, when he loses, when he wins. We have the camera on those corners during the whole event because it's such a big part of what makes Quintet so exciting. And it's easy, it's just easy to watch. If you know your team is ahead or behind, you don't have to know what kind of lock has been used or submission.
あとはやってる側と人間としても必ず誰と戦うって決まってるわけじゃないんで、前の人が負けちゃったら僕はそいつと戦わなきゃいけないし、勝ったらね、相手が変わるわけじゃないですか。1対1でなんていうのイメージしてるとちょっと違うので、もうめちゃくちゃ緊張するし、でチームのメンバーが勝った時はめちゃくちゃ興奮するんで、なんかそういうチーム戦の面白さを伝えることができたらいいかな。
So what he really wants to express through the use of the teams is that the level of emotion is much more different. It's like when you're having a one-on-one fight, you know who you're fighting. You research that person's moves and you know what you're going to do. You have a strategy for that person. But when you don't know who you're going to be fighting, if the guy ahead of you loses, then you have to fight his opponent. And you have to then think what kind of strategy you're going to do. So you have no idea who you're going to be up against. That's one of the exciting things about this format.
だから5人いるじゃないですか。5人いたら5人の戦い方をイメージをしとかないと誰が当たるか分かんないので。
Since you have no idea of the 5 on the other team who you're going to be facing against, you kind of have to have an image of what you would do against each particular fighter. So it's more of a well-rounded strategy that you have to come to the mat with.
So we'll talk a little bit about the matchup. So once the first fight happens, you don't know the order of the next ones. It could be a pick 'em as it goes. As for the next follow up for possible opponents, there's no set order. Or how does that work out?
I'll just go ahead and answer that. There is a set order. There is a set order. The Senpo is the very first fighter. It's first position on both teams.
Okay.
And we basically announce the full order, usually the day before. That's when we make the big announcements about who's going to be, in what order it's going to be for each team. This morning, we just announced that the first fighter on Sakuraba's team will be Sakuraba himself, and the first fighter on Urijah Faber's team, Team Alpha Male, will be Urijah Faber. So that matchup's definitely going to happen. But the rest of the order will have to wait till the day before the fight, and that they have basically a day to think about what they're going to do. 今ね、順番はね、こうどうやってね、こう順番を決める。Then one thing that's interesting, 説明してもいいし、強くしたね、そのまま説明してもいいんだけど。
順番は、まあ適当ですかね。
まあそういうんじゃなくて、そのルールの話で。
ルールの
そう。そう、僕説明します。
わかりました。
So like if your team wins and you've used 3 of your fighters, then you have 2 fighters who have not gone on. So when you go to the next round, they have to start. So you have to start with those 2 guys, and then the rest 3 you can put in any order.
What gave you this idea of doing it this way?
この今の言ってたその、勝ったチームが使ってないファイターを一番最初に戦ってもらうというルールはどこら辺から考えたんですか？
それはあれですか、どうしてもね、名前は出てるけど試合をしなくなっちゃう選手もいるので、
そうね、出ないと
そ
思ってない。
れはね、もったいない。そういうルールにして。
It's most important that you've announced 5 members of your team, and the first 3, if they win the first round, you don't want to have fighters that haven't been in the event at all. So that's why having them start at the beginning is what is a much higher chance that every fighter will have competed at least once in one match.
But what was the inspiration to come up with the new game plan, the new way of doing grappling this way?
もともとのこういう勝ち抜き戦っていうインスピレーションはどこから得たの？
それ柔道とか見てみて面白い。僕もともとレスリングで同じ階級の人しかこうやったことないんですけど、同じ階級でこういっちゃうと途中でやっぱりチーム戦なんで多く取ったら途中で分かっちゃうじゃないですか、勝ち負けが。じゃなくて勝ち抜き戦で全部落とさないと勝てないっていうのは昔から日本にある柔道とか剣道とかではあるので、これ使ったら絶対面白いな。
So he comes from wrestling where you basically fight your own weight, but judo and jiu-jitsu, these kind of sports, they have already from way back when that tradition of fighting the winner stays on type of tournaments. So it was just a matter of adapting that idea to the grappling format.
I think this was maybe speaking to why he was trying to keep the fights exciting. Can you explain, I believe, the decision that there will be no closed guards and no single joint locks allowed in the competition?
これは、試合をもっと面白くするためっていう流れだろうけど、そのなんでクローズガードはなんでダメにした理由は？
クローズガードはダメなんじゃないです。やってもいいんですけど、長時間はダメ。あとはジャンピングで、怪我しちゃうトーナメントなんで、怪我しちゃうと次出れないじゃないですか。で、何一人抜いて戦うのって話になります。だからなるべく怪我をないように、だからクロスガード禁止じゃないです。やってもいいけど、長時間やったらダメです。
It's not that closed guard is illegal, it's that you can't hold that position for a long time. And there's a couple of different reasons for the rules that are in place. Some of it's to keep the action going, some of it's to protect. So like knee attacks, jumping guard, this kind of thing will, is help protect against injury, because if you have a fighter injured in the first round, you're only going to have a 4-man team. in the second round, and so that would be unfortunate.
お客さんが見て、知らない人が見ても面白いんだっていうのを見せたいです。
Basically, the main idea is that the fans in the seats, when they're watching, they are going to have a good time. They're going to see a good match, even if they don't know a damn thing about grappling.
Sure. And finally, I'd love to get your thoughts on your first opponent, Urijah Faber.
一番最初の相手、ユラヤ・フェイバーに対するちょっと印象とかそういう思いは。
僕決まってないです。
決まってます。
決まってるんですか？
決まってる。決まってます。
He's
saying, "Oh no, is that official?" And he's just being psychopath. Is that official? I'm like, yeah, that's official.
順番オーダーは変えますよ。
He said, "I'm going to change the order."
まあでもめちゃくちゃ強そうなイメージはある。
But he does have, his impression that he's a very strong fighter.
What did you think of his MMA when he was fighting MMA?
MMA の時のユラヤ・フェイバーのはなんか見たりし
すみません、
ました。
僕はあんまり普段見ないです。
So question always comes up, like what kind of MMA fighters like? He's like, I don't really watch MMA anymore. 最近はなんか最近はなんか見るの。
最近自分で見るのはなんだろう。昔のプロレスだったり。
Recently, he's been into like watching old pro wrestling instead of.
Who's your favorite pro wrestler?
一番好きなプロレスラーは
一番好きなプロレスラーいやわかんないですね。
That's a tough one.
まあでもタイガーマスクは好きでしたけど、昔タイガーマスクが好きで格闘技を始めた。
So, but Tiger Mask was one of his first. That was his entry into wrestling. Was Tiger Mask? He fell in love with that character, and so that's what got him into wrestling.
You dressed up as Tiger Mask for at least one of your entrances in the Pride.
一回ぐらいはプライドでタイガーマスクのとして登場したことはありますよね。
確かあります、はい。
Yeah, there were at least once. So.
Will you come in with an entrance for this also?
今回の入場は何か考えてますか？
いや特には考えてないですけど、これほらチームで入ってくるんで5人で入ってるからどうでしょう。一人一人転ばしちゃうから。
So he said now there's a team, so it's a little bit different dynamic. He said maybe I'll just have him roll up in the ball and I'll kick him into the. But nothing planned yet.
転ばして最後に使うかも。
So he said okay, his idea is he'll kick them along, rolling them into the arena, and at the end he'll trip and fall himself.
みんな回転して入場するんですよ。
Yeah.
Will never be allowed to wear masks if they want to?
試合中は覆面はありですか？
いや、あれそこまでルール決めてないですね。でも多分やったらめっちゃ見づらいと思います。
There hasn't been a rule made about masks yet, but probably be really difficult to do. But there's no official no yet.
And is Team Sakuraba set? If so, can you share your team member lineup?
もうチームは決まってますか？決まってます。
僕らのメンバー、
はい。
大体ほぼ決まってるんですけど、
Almost set.
ただ完全確定ではまでは言ってない。
But not 100%. But we can mention Sakuraba and Souza brothers will be on the card, and Josh Barnett will be on the card, and 5人目はもう1回言ってるんですよ。
だから大輔を。
But probably Daisuke Nakamura will be the fifth.
Renzo Gracie, he said like a few months ago that he would fight MMA against Sakuraba. Is that true? Does he want to fight? When this fight's going to happen?
ヘンゾ・グレイシーが何ヶ月前にMMA で桜庭と戦いっていう、興味あるようなことは聞きましたけど、これは実現されますか？
それはちょっとまだ まだわからないんですけど、MMA でやるよりは僕はクインテットでヘンゾがチームを作って出てきた方が面白いと思うんですけど。
Sakuraba feels that, rather than MMA, he'd much rather have Renzo build a quintet team and meet him on the quintet mat.
So no MMA fight against Renzo.
Right now, we're just building the quintet event, and so that's something that he wants to focus on for a while. So he's not thinking about MMA for the near future.